Welcome to another video. In this lesson, we are going to learn some of the things that we need to transition from being a good programmer to good developer. So now, what is the difference between being a good programmer and good developer? A good programmer is somebody who can write a code without injecting any errors into the software or web applications, and good developer is somebody who can assess the quality of code and ensure that this code is ready for the production level web or a software application. Now, in most of the companies, whenever programmers write a code, then it will go for a code review to senior developers, and they will assess the quality of the code before it goes live on any deployment environments. So now, what exactly do we need to make the code production ready? So there is a big checklist that the senior developers maintain, which is called a code review checklist. So you can read about code review checklist on Google. You can Google about it and read more about it. In this video, basically, I'm going to teach you one of the skill that will make you a good developer. You can write a clean code which is suitable for production level applications. So now in this checklist, one of the criteria of assessing the code is that the code must be formatted very clearly. It should be readable, and if any new programmer joins the team, he should be able to read the code very clearly. So one of the requirement that is to indent the code properly. So let's look at the code editor. So I've written some code here in one of the React component. So by looking at this code, from my point of view or from somebody who is new to the software team, this code is written very well. It has no errors and this application is running perfectly. But if I give it to some senior developer, he will probably find a lot of issues in this code. And one of the issues is that this code is not at all indented properly. See, if I have to scroll to read the entire code, that means it's not a well-written code and it's not following the proper guidelines that should be followed. So in this video, we are going to learn about one of the VS Code extension that will help you to write a clean code, and that is called Prettier. Now, what is this Prettier? So what we are going to do, we are going to install this extension and see how it helps in writing clean code. So let's go to the extensions tab in VS Code and search for Prettier. So you can find it on the top. It has around 27 million installations as of now. So I'll also install it into my VS Code, and once it is installed, what I'll do is I'll try to implement this extension on the code that I've written, and I'll see what this extension can do for me to improve this code. So I'll just right click on this file. Let's right click on this file and select format document with. And when I format my document with Prettier, so it has done some changes to my code. So now you can see it has indented my code clearly. So if you're not able to see this, I'll just press Ctrl Z on my keyboard, and let's see, this was the original version of the code, and when I format it with the Prettier, it just changes few things in the format of the code and makes it more clean to read. So this is how this extension helps. Now I've done this by doing a right click and format document with Prettier. But what I want is this should work automatically. Let's say if I make some changes here and I mess up the code, I mess up the structure of the code. So when I go and format it again, that cleans it up for me again. But the point is, I want it to happen as soon as I save the code by using a key Ctrl S. So I want it to happen automatically every time I make any changes and I save the code. This extension should run automatically and clean the code for me. So for that, I need to do some settings in the VS Code. I will go to settings, and search for format. So you will find some settings here. I will explain one by one what settings we need to do for this. So you can do these settings on a user level or on the workspace level. If you choose a workspace option, then these settings will apply only to the project that you are working on currently. But if you do it on the user, it will apply on all the projects that you will open with VS Code. So this is what I'm going to choose. I'm going to apply this extension on the user level. So what I'll do is, one of the options that we need to choose here is, in my VS Code, it's already been checked because I have done this previously and I have installed this extension before this tutorial. But for you, you need to go to the settings and check this checkbox which says format on save. So this will help Prettier to clean the code as soon as we make any changes and save the code. And another change we need to do here is, if we go down, most of the settings we will be able to leave default on this. I've just changed this setting here as of now. Now if I go to text editor, I see that my default formatter is already chosen as Prettier. But if in your case, this will be selected as none in the beginning if you are installing this extension for the first time. So you need to change it to Prettier. And that's all we need to do. We need to make two changes. We need to change the default editor to default formatter to Prettier. And another change we need to do is we need to check this option which says format on save. Now let's see, I've saved the settings. I'll close the settings now. Now let me try this on any other file. So here is another file which let's save this file and close it, close all the other files. So this is the file that I've written before applying this extension, before installing this extension. So now I will save this file and see what will happen. I'll just press Ctrl S on my keyboard. So now you can see as soon as I press Ctrl S, this extension has helped me to clean this code. So this is something very useful when you are working in large organizations where if you're not writing a clean code, even if you are a very good programmer, you are not going to get a good reviews from your seniors. So this is an extension that can help you become a good developer in future. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you find this information helpful, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.